Alright, so I had like a pretty crazy night last night. Well, just a lot of fun, I guess. But first off, let me say I'm really enjoying. I picked this up from the grocery store the other day, a little carton of milk, but not just regular milk. Guess what flavor it is? Asses. Asses. So I was really excited because, I was like, oh, ass milk. But there must have been a screw up at the factory or something because it tastes like peach. But I mean, it's still pretty good. It's just a little disappointing, I guess. So yeah, I went out last night and went down to like the main arcade area, and I was like, well, I can't get in touch with anybody, so I don't have any plans. But I'm just gonna go ahead and walk around for a little bit, see if I run into anybody I know, or worst case scenario, see if I can meet some new people and like go out and have some fun. So I'm walking around for maybe like a half hour, and I see there's one person that I know from Mia Kyodai where I was taking classes, and she was sitting there with like four of her friends, and then they were talking to this group of like six guys. And so the six guys see me, and it's like they were clearly drunk already at that point in time. So they were like really excited to see a foreigner. Again, you just get singled out all day for being a foreigner in Japan. And so they were just like, yeah, like, Kurisu, 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 high five! And, so then I high-five everybody, and they're, like, so excited to high-five a Westerner that then they just start high-fiving for, like, just everything, even, like, arbitrary information, like, and, it didn't help matters at all that they were, like, drunk. So, then they were just like, let's get some food! And I was like, alright, let's get some food. And they were just like, yeah! High five! And then, yeah, so I just have, like, all of a sudden then the one girl I knew, left with all her friends, so I got pushed in with this group of, like, six drunk Japanese guys, so I was like, okay. They're, like, 20, 21, 22, that kind of age range. So I'm, like, walking around with them, and one of them, like, was not drunk, and he was just kind of, like, maybe like the whipping boy of the group, like maybe a little nerdier, and so the whole time he's like, Chris, I'm sorry, my friends are drunk, and I was just like, no, it's fine, like I'm having a good time. So we went and we went to a izakaya and just kind of like had a little bit of food, and they were just like really kind of like just like rowdy, belligerent. So then they're like, they're really excited and they're, yelling about arbitrary information. So they're just like, they were about girls and whatnot and like the group that was there. And then one of them's just like, I am cherry boy! I am cherry boy! And I was like, you're a cherry boy? What does that mean? It means he's a virgin, but he was really excited about it, and then he was just like, we are all cherry boys! Yeah! And I was like, oh, I'll high-five you for your virginity, like, that's pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, I high-fived all of them, and then we, had a cheers to their loneliness, I guess, is what you might say, but they were really excited about being cherry boys. So I got, when the time came to pay, they were just like, nah, don't worry about it. So I got some free food out of it, which was like really awesome, and then I had a lot of laughs because these guys were crazy. And then they left. They were like, my friend's drunk. I have to take him home. We got to take these kids home. And I was like, yeah, I think maybe you should better take those kids home. So then I go off walking on my own again, and I got maybe like a half block away, and I see this person in this giant cat suit. I mean, the way you think of maybe like a big fat white Asian cat. Think if you're familiar with like Dragon Ball or something, like the cat with the crutch, big fat white cat suit with like squinty eyes and like a metal gold jingly thing hanging from its collar. So, it's this person in this costume, and I was just like started talking to the people around it, and apparently it's just like some person had randomly gotten into this costume because there was a karaoke place right next door, and they had the costume just like sitting on the bench, but there was nobody in it. So they were promoting their place, and so I was like, I'll get in your costume. And so I hopped in this cat costume, and the head's like this big, like it was a huge cat costume, but I took the head off, and it was just like a big fat cat body. So I was kind of like walking around advertising for this karaoke place and giving away flyers because that was like a lot of fun for me, and I was like, "Irashaimase!" Like, "Hi, dozo!" Which is okay. Maybe I should put that in context. When you go into Japan, they have there's all these different levels of politeness in Japanese speech. So it's like one of the big obsessions of Japanese is not just knowing what to say, but how to say it, sort of. Maybe even actually what to say. I don't know. There's just different grammar forms. So one of the very top of just like ass kissing grammar form is called keigo, and so like please come into our shop is like irashaimasu, and then they put a on the end of it to turn it into like a polite request, So it's, and then whenever you go into a shop in Japan, they all say it, but they have like this really sing-songy kind of really obnoxious, attention-getting voice where like they make their voice really nasally and gross, and they're like, so instead of like irashaimase, they're like irashaimase, and so I was having a lot of fun with that and just kind of like running around. People were really surprised. They were just like, wow, he's really fluent in Japanese, like this crazy gaijin's running around. And like, the people were happy about it because I was promoting the hell out of their karaoke place, and it was just like me having a good time. So then from doing that, I wound up meeting this other group of like 6 people who I didn't know, and then we all went to an izakaya followed by a dance club, which is like the dance clubs in Japan are like, my experience with them so far has been maybe like 10 people and a DJ and maybe like 2 crazy Asian kids in the middle of the dance floor like doing something crazy, and then everybody else just kind of like, well, this sucks. So, then we left there and we went to the izakaya, and I had like some pizza and stuff, which was like really tasty. And then a lot of times in Japan, the train stopped running at a certain time, and then they pick back up at like 5, 6 in the morning. So a lot of times people will just go and get a karaoke room, and so you pay maybe like $10, $12 or something each, and you just kind of hang out and sing music and sleep or whatever until time comes for the train to come, and then everybody just takes the train ride home. So yeah, and then I wound up getting back to my dorm at like 7:30 in the morning, slept until 1 in the afternoon, and just kind of like hung out, studied a little bit, wrote some important emails. I don't know, pretty good. So yeah, I mean that's my little Japanese Friday night. I think I'm going to the beach tomorrow with some people, so I'll tell you how that goes. Pretty excited about it. So I love you back at home, and I will see you all soon.